Sigurd the Dragon Slayer, the shocking story behind Norse mythology. The legend of Sigurd the Dragon Slayer is one of the most captivating and enduring stories from Norse mythology. It is much more than a simple tale of a hero slaying a dragon. It explores deeper themes such as loyalty, honor, and the consequences of betrayal. You will be transported to a world of adventure and magic, where heroes and villains clash in epic battles, and where the fate of entire kingdoms rests on the actions of a single brave warrior. So watch till the end and let yourself be carried away by this timeless tale of heroism and adventure. The story unfolds like this. After winning his kingdom and bride, Helg's brother Sinfjotli left to wage battle in far-off lands where he amassed wealth and fame. However, he fell in love with a woman desired by Borghild's brother, which led to a duel between them. In the resulting combat, Sinfjotli emerged victorious and returned home to share his exploits. Borghild was enraged and plotted revenge by poisoning Sinfjotli at a feast. Sigmund was grief-stricken at the loss of his son, and while carrying his grandson to the opposite shore, encountered the ferryman, who may have been Odin. Sigmund returned home and banished Borghild before seeking a new bride in King Eylimi's daughter, Hjordis. She chose to marry Sigmund, and they returned to Hunoland with a sizable wedding feast. King Lu was enraged by this. He sent Sigmund word that he would wage war against him and weaken the Volsungs' influence. He then gathered an enormous army and marched off to exact his wrath and seize Hjordis. Sigmund feared going to war because Lu had a greater force on his side. But his bravery never wavered. Although warriors have won many great treasures, Odin gave Sigmund a sword. He was old, but he still had a lot of faith in his sword, which was called Gram. However, he decided it would be best if Hjordis were hidden, so the queen was given a haven in a dense forest, a bondmaid, and many valuables. A massive shore battle took place. Sigmund fought valiantly despite overwhelming odds. Nobody could resist him, and for a while it appeared that Lu would fail. Sigmund's arms were covered in the blood of his enemies, but he was uninjured. Then an older man with one eye reached the field via Lu's soldiers. He had a circular hat laying low on his brow, and he was covered in a blue cloak. He confronted Sigmund with a large spear in his hand. That was a crucial moment for Volsung. Odin wanted him dead. When Sigmund struck the god's large spear after it shook, the sword Gram was split in two. The hero was attacked by Lu's soldiers there, who dealt him his fatal wounds. The Volsung army was dispersed after King Eylimi, who fought alongside Sigmund, was killed. The bodies of the dead were as numerous as dead leaves in fall, and the shoreland was painted red by the blood of the fallen heroes. In the field of battle, King Lu did not wait. He advanced with his army towards Sigmund's hall, but when he got there, he could not find Hjordis or any wealth. However, he was unaware of a future hero, and despite installing a puppet ruler as the head of Hunaland, the glory of the Volsung was destined to return in even greater splendor. Hjordis arrived later and found Sigmund mortally wounded. She stayed by his side until he died, and saw a fleet of Viking ships approaching the shore. The captain of the Viking horde, Alv, learned of the treasure's location and seized Hjordis' bondmaid. When Hjordis admitted to being Sigmund's queen, she was praised, and her son was named Sigurd. He grew up as a powerful, fearless warrior with great wisdom and eloquence. As the story unfolds, the stakes get higher and the tension builds, leaving you on the edge of your seat. Will Sigurd live up to the reputation of his father as a powerful warrior and wise leader? Subscribe to Historical Saga now to make sure you don't miss a single detail of this thrilling saga. Regin, the marvelous smith, the dragon Fafnir's brother, served as the little boy's foster father and taught him many languages, the arts, and the mysteries of runes. It is said that the young boy was being protected by him, and that he had faith in the monarch when Regin asked him if he knew that his father had left a significant amount of wealth and that Hjaldprek had been charged with its protection. When the young man went to Hjaldprek to request a horse, Regin persuaded him to do so, and the king instructed him to choose the one he liked best. An older man with a grey beard and one eye approached Sigurd and recommended a horse Sleipnir for the young man. Unaware that this older man was in fact Odin, Sigurd trusted him and picked the horse. It was grey and nothing in the world could compare to it, so Sigurd named it Grane. At that time, Alv was blissfully married to Hjordis. Then a day came when Regin thought to tell the boy about the treasure the dragon Fafnir was constantly guarding after realizing that the boy had developed into a young man's strength and wisdom. He persuaded Sigurd to defeat the beast. Then Regin related the tale of the wealth, describing how Lok had acquired it from the dwarf Andvari and handed it to his father, whom his brother Fafnir had murdered to take possession of the entire gold stash for himself. Then Regin made a sword in his forge, but when the boy struck it on the anvil, it broke into pieces and flew away. He also broke a second sword. After that, Sigurd asked his mother for the fragments of his father's magnificent sword Gram that had been broken. When the sword was reforged, the boy tested the blade on the anvil and split it in twain. After he finally had Gram in his grasp, Sigurd was satisfied with his weapon. The boy grew in strength, attaining considerable skill in military maneuvers. Before he embarked on his heroic pursuits, he visited Grippa, his mother's brother, who can predict future events. After that, Sigurd went to the king and pleaded with him to send ships and soldiers to the Hunding tribe to get revenge on King Lu for Sigmund's demise. Hjálprek gave him what he asked for. As he traveled through rough seas, a man beckoned to Sigurd and asked to be taken aboard as the ships approached the headland. This was to be done, the young hero instructed. He obeyed Urd's orders and went by the name of Fjornir. Regarding the impending battle, he wrote strange runes. The storm subsided as he did so, and they got closer to King Lu's realm. King Lu received word that powerful enemies had attacked the kingdom after Sigurd made landfall. A sizable army was gathered to fight against them, but Sigurd had the upper hand and killed Lu to exact revenge for his father's death. He split the king in twain with the sword Gram and killed all of his sons. As a result, Sigurd rose to prominence and returned to Hjálprek with the wealth he had looted. Soon, Regin spoke to him privately, reminding him of his pledge to slay the Fafnir dragon. Regin guided the young hero towards the glittering heath and advised him to dig a pit into the earth to slaughter the dragon by surprise when it emerged to drink. Regin watched from a distance as Sigurd moved towards the dragon's home. A grey-bearded older man with only one eye appeared to the young hero and advised him to dig numerous pits so the dragon's blood wouldn't swamp him. Sigurd did not know that the man was Odin, but he followed the advice. He dug several pits where he hid and waited for the dragon to appear. Fafnir eventually emerged from his den, howling and spewing poison. Regin shook in his hiding place as the ground rocked. Sigurd, however, did not fear. He waited for the dragon to pass over the pit where he was standing before he slashed it with his sword Gram all the way through. He pulled his sword out and blood stained his arms as he dashed into the pits. Fafnir flew into a rage and destroyed everything near him, but he soon realized that he had been mortally wounded. Then he entered the dragon's den and removed the treasure, including the rings, the magnificent helmet, the sword Hrotte, the gold armor, and numerous ornaments. He divided the treasures into 2 containers and mounted Crane, a powerful steed, to carry them. The birds sang to Sigurd. Sigurd continued to ride. He was amazed to hear the birds singing to him. He did not stop until he reached Hinderfell, where Brynhild was sleeping magically and lying wrapped in a blanket. And with that, we have come to the ending of today's video. If you like this video, then make sure to like, share and subscribe to our channel. For more of our videos, click on the links you see on the screen. We will be back again with more interesting content. Until then, I bid you adieu.